Okay, let's talk about the Praxis Middle School Math Exam, and that is test code 5164. And what I have for you in this video is a practice problem that you should be able to do successfully if you are fully prepared for this practice. So you can see here is the problem. Matter of fact, if you know how to do this, go and put your answer into the comment section. I'm going to show you the correct answer in just 1 second, and then of course I'm going to solve this step by step. But before we get going, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TC Math Academy. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher. I've been teaching math for decades, and I definitely know what it's like to take a certification exam to include the Praxis exam. Now, these certification exams are not easy. You really have to be fully prepared, do a lot of studying. Really kind of we're talking about high school level and advanced high school level mathematics. So if you need help getting ready, I have an outstanding test prep course. You can find a link to that in the description below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this problem. All right, so here is again the problem. And what are we dealing with here? Well, we have matrix C. This is a 3 by 3 matrix. And here we have matrix D, which is a 3 by 1. And we're looking to multiply these matrices. So we're dealing with matrix multiplication. That is the topic. So let's go take a look at the answer here. So here it is. It happens to be a 3 by 1. So if you got that right, that's very, very good. It tells me that you remember a thing or two about matrix multiplication. Now, this particular problem is not that difficult, but if you didn't get that right, don't use this or get this particular problem correct. Don't panic. What you just need to do is use this as feedback, but you're definitely going to need to know a lot about matrices, much, much more than this particular problem for this respective Praxis exam. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so the first thing that we need to think about when we want to multiply matrices, again, matrix multiplication, is to determine whether, in fact, these two matrices can even be multiplied. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, this is what we need to check. So our first matrix is a 3 by 3. Okay, now 3 by 3 means 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 columns, right? So this is how we describe the size or the order, the dimension of a particular matrix. So this is a 3 row by 3 column matrix, and this is a 3 row by 1 column matrix. So the first thing you need to do is check the column of the first matrix. Again, this is rows and columns, so we're talking about 3, and compare that to the row of the second matrix. So that is 3, okay? If these two numbers are the same, well, that's an indication that you can, in fact, multiply these particular matrices. Now, what is going to be the size of the product? Okay, we have one matrix being multiplied by another matrix, so the answer is going to be a matrix, and these two right here, these two numbers tell you the size of the product, which is going to be a 3 by 1 matrix. So that's the first thing you need to do is just first check to see if you can, in fact, multiply the two matrices and then have an idea, okay, I'm looking for 3 by 1 as my answer. All right, so let's get into the actual mechanics of matrix multiplication. Now, here we have our first matrix, and here we have our second matrix. So a couple of things here. We're going to be using the rows of our first matrix and the column of the second matrix. Now, there's only one column here, but of course, if there is more than one column, you'd have to keep that in mind. But this is just a quick, easy example for matrix multiplication. But let's take a look at our answer here. Okay, so our answer again is a 3 by 1, which of course we talked about. That's what we expected to get. And here is our first entry in our answer. Okay. Now, this entry is described as row 1, column 1. So this is row 1, column 1. So to get this entry here, we're going to use the row 1 of this matrix, and we're going to use column 1 of this matrix. Okay, now, again, this is, you'll see this more clearly in matrix multiplication problems where it's like a 3 by 3 times another 3 by 3 or 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So But anyways, you need to keep that in mind. You really have to know this procedure. It's not that difficult, but it can be confusing. All right, so let's go ahead and reconstruct this 5. So again, we're going to use the row of the first row, okay, the row 1, okay, of this matrix here, okay, because we use the rows of this matrix, never the columns. Then we're going to use the columns here. Again, there's only one column, so we're going to be using these two right here, this row and this column, to get this answer, row 1, column 1. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, what we're going to do is take this -1 and multiply by 2. So you're going to start this way. You're going to be going from left to right, and from here you're going to be going up to down. So it's going to be -1 times 2, which is -2. Then you're going to add. You're going to add the next set of the two things you're going to multiply. So you're going to go over 1, and that's going to be 3, and you're going to go down 1. That's going to be 4. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. All right, so you see what I just did there? So -1 times 2, -2 plus, and then you scoot over 1 and down 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Then to get the next entry, we got to go over one more time, so that's 5. Okay, we can't go any further or go any more to the right, so that's 5. Then we go down one more time, that's -1, so we're going to add 5 times -1 is -5. Okay, so now we just go ahead and clean this up, so -2 plus 12 plus -5 will give us a +5. Okay, so that is how we get our answer, okay? Of course, this is row 1, column 1. So to get this answer right here, we're going to use what? Well, this position is row 2, column 1. So what we'll do is, of course, we'll have to use, there's only one column here, but we need to use the second row, row 2, column 1, and we just go through the same procedure. And you can see the results right there. And then here you can kind of see the results by doing row 3, column 1. Okay, so just a quick review on matrix multiplication. This is a very easy problem, and you're definitely going to see matrices on this particular Praxis exam. You're going to have to know things like determinants, inverse matrices. It's a huge topic, matrices in and of itself, but there is a huge amount of mathematics that you need to know to be ready for this exam, and my test prep course can definitely get you ready to go. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your certification exam. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.